19th of September 2024. Welcome to Somalia's premier #1 station for news and updates from Dalsan TV. Well, it's a warm evening here in Somalia's capital, Mogadishu. Now let's cross over to the stories that are making our headline tonight. Somalia Supreme Court upholds death sentence for murder case. Somalia detains Turkish manager for alleged sexual harassment of local staff. Kenya upholds Somali embassy account freezing amid protest by ex-envoy Dalsan. Somali forces retake strategic Al-Shabaab bastion in central region. Somali cabinet approves ambassadors, backs human rights policy. Now let's delve into a full bulletin. The Supreme Court of Somalia has upheld the death sentence of Said Ali Mohammed Dawood, who was convicted of the murder of his pregnant wife, Lord Sheikh Abdulaziz. Chief Justice Bashir Ahmed Yusuf announced the court decision rejecting Dawood's appeal and affirming the rulings of the lower courts. The Supreme Court of Somalia has upheld the death sentence of Said Ali Mohammed Dawood, who was convicted of the murder of his pregnant wife, Lul Sheikh Abdulaziz. Chief Justice Bashir Ahmed Yusuf announced the court's decision, rejecting Dawood's appeal and affirming the rulings of the lower courts. These verdicts concludes a protracted 9-month legal battle that ignited national debate on domestic violence in Somalia. Said Ali Mohammed Dawood was found guilty of deliberately setting his wife on fire during a domestic dispute at their home in Mogadishu in January 2024. Lul Sheikh Abdulaziz, a respected employee at Aden Abdullah International Airport, and a mother of 6, died from her injuries at Erdogan Hospital. During the trial, Dawood confessed to starting the fire but maintained that his intention was not to kill. Prosecutors presented compelling evidence, including the charred remains of Abdulaziz's phone and testimonies from witnesses, including their children, to prove that Dawood's actions were premeditated. The Banaadir Regional Court initially sentenced Dawood to death on March 6. Despite the defense's claim of accidental harm, the Banaadir Court of Appeal upheld the sentence after extensive hearings. The Supreme Court's judgment, delivered by Chief Justice Yusuf, confirmed the lower court's decision and mandated the immediate execution of the sentence. The family of Lul Sheikh Abdulaziz expressed their relief at the Supreme Court's decision. They had withheld Lul's burial until a verdict was reached and rejected offers of blood money for Dawood's release. They are now calling for the swift implementation of Dawood's execution to ensure justice for Lul. Now, quite an interesting story where the Somali government has confirmed on Tuesday that Ertugrul Karafayeli, a Turkish national and operations manager at Favori LLC, was taken into custody following allegations of sexual harassment and abuse against his female staff. The arrest occurred in Mogadishu after a court case brought to light accusations of inappropriate behavior towards Somali female employees working at Favori LLC, the Turkish firm managing the Aden International Airport. Somali government on Tuesday confirmed that Ertugrul Karafayeli, a Turkish national and operations manager at Favori LLC, was taken into custody following allegations of sexual harassment and abuse against a female staff. The arrest occurred in Mogadishu after a court case brought to light accusations of inappropriate behavior towards Somali female employees working at Favori LLC, the Turkish firm managing Aden International Airport. Karafayeli, a key figure at Favori LLC, has been at the center of a week-long court case involving charges of sexual harassment, misconduct, intimidation, abuse, and misuse of authority. These allegations concern actions against Somali employees that allegedly breached both employment and ethical standards, according to the Office of the Attorney General. Karafayeli will remain in custody while formal prosecution preparations are underway. Dalsan TV has obtained exclusive footage purportedly showing Karafayeli making inappropriate advances towards a female Somali employee in his office. This video has further fueled public outrage against Favori labor practices. Favori LLC, a Turkish firm, has managed Mogadishu's Aden International Airport since 2013. Under its agreement with the Somali government, Favori is entitled to 25% of the airport's revenue in exchange for its management and operational services. However, the company has faced criticism for various issues. Just last month, the Somali government accused Favori LLC of violating profit-sharing agreements crucial to the management of Mogadishu's key infrastructure, including the airport. Concerns were raised regarding Favori's handling of its contractual obligations
highlighting issues of transparency and adherence to terms.
Now, crossing over to our neighbor, where a high-stakes legal battle, the Supreme Court of Kenya has upheld a 2023 order freezing the bank accounts of Somali embassy in Nairobi, dealing a significant blow to the Somali government's efforts to resolve the long-standing financial disputes. The court's decision was announced last Thursday, marking a strong moment in a legal clash involving allegations of contract breach and diplomatic immunity.
In a high-stakes legal battle, the Supreme Court of Kenya has upheld a 2023 order freezing the bank accounts of Somali embassy in Nairobi, dealing a significant blow to Somali government's efforts to resolve a long-standing financial dispute. The court's decision was announced last Thursday, marking a strong moment in a legal clash involving allegations of contract breach and diplomatic immunity. The case involves the federal government of Somalia, represented by its embassy in Nairobi, and Kingsley Construction Limited, a Kenyan contractor. The Somali Public Prosecutor's Office had filed an appeal against a previous court ruling. The Supreme Court, led by Justice Alfred Mabea, rejected an application by the Somali Public Prosecutor's Office to lift the freeze on embassy's bank accounts at Premier Bank Limited. The dispute dates back to 2019 when Kingsley Construction Limited filed the lawsuit. The freeze on the embassy's bank accounts was ordered in 2023, and the recent court upheld this order on September 12, 2024. The dispute has been further complicated by conflicting statements from Somali officials. Former Somali Ambassador Mohammed Nur Tarsan has vehemently denied the agreement with Kingsley Construction, accusing the contractor of attempting to defraud the Somali community. Tarsan alleged that the Somali ambassador to Turkey, Fathuddin Ali, was involved in an embezzlement scheme related to the embassy's maintenance funds. Conversely, Ambassador Ali contended that the renovation efforts initiated by the Somali community were hindered by Tarsan's refusal to cooperate.
Now, quite a rejuvenating story where the Somali National Army has recaptured key Al-Shabaab stronghold, significantly showcasing the ability to contain violent extremism besides taking over security responsibilities from the Africa Union Transition Mission in Somalia. The ATMIS team is set to leave Somalia next year and will be replaced by the Africa Union Support and Stabilization Mission in Somalia, a team that will be led by Egypt, but more responsibilities given to the local troops.
The Somali National Army has recaptured a key Al-Shabaab stronghold, significantly showcasing the ability to contain violent extremism besides taking over security responsibilities from the African Union Transition Mission in Somalia, ATMIS. The ATMIS team is set to leave Somalia next year and will be replaced by the African Union Support and Stabilization Mission in Somalia, a team that will be led by Egypt, but with more responsibilities given to the local troops. According to military sources, the forces managed to raid the Mudug region at the strategic village of Barag in Ali Gadoud, which is approximately 50 kilometers west of Haradere, an area dominated by the militants. According to military officials, the militants were flushed out of their hideouts after a planned attack against civilians in the country. The operation prevented the militants from waging effective war against the Al-Shabaab militants. Recently, President Ahmed Kariyo Korkhor requested military assistance from Puntland's Saeed Abdullahi Deni, noting the continued attempt by the Al-Shabaab to control the Mudug area. The region is strategic in terms of economic control within central regions. The Somali National Army teams have been carrying out targeted operations in the Mudug region for the past 2 years, and the capture of Barag Ali Gadoud represents a tactical win and a strategic advancement in the broader objective of securing the region. Local militias have been integral in the fight against Al-Shabaab for the last 2 years, particularly within the central regions, and have managed to effectively work closely with the Somali National Army. President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud had pledged a total war against Al-Shabaab militants when he took over, and for the last 2 years, over 5,000 militants have been reportedly been killed. The US Africa Command has also been part of the operations.
Now, wrapping up our bulletin, the Somali Council of Ministers led by Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre held a meeting in Mogadishu on Thursday, during which they approved the appointment of 2 new ambassadors and endorsed the national procedure policy for reporting and monitoring of human rights. The appointed ambassadors were Abdi Hakim Mohammed Ahmed and Yusuf Ahmed Jego, though the countries to which they will be posted have not yet been revealed.
Somali Council of Ministers, chaired by Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre, approved the nomination of 2 new ambassadors and endorsed a national procedure policy for the reporting and monitoring of human rights during a meeting in Mogadishu on Thursday evening. The council appointed Abdi Hakim Mohammed Ahmed and Yusuf Ahmed Jego as ambassadors, although the specific countries they would be sent were not disclosed. The ministers also reviewed the National Transformation Plan, which focuses on strengthening the state system and advancing the country's economic development. A government statement emphasized that the plan would enhance coordination between government agencies, improve monitoring of national policy implementation, and align government programs with Somalia's long-term development goals. The meeting also featured security reports from ministers of internal security and defense detailing the country's efforts to stabilize the security situation and eradicate the Al-Shabaab militant group.
Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre concludes our night's bulletin. I wish to thank the Dalsan Media fraternity for making this news edition a success. And you are lovely viewer wherever you're watching us from. Have yourselves a lovely night and be blessed.